Bashers, what's up? I'm a minute or two late. Sorry, guys. How are you? Welcome to Bashers. It's Wednesday. When you were Wednesdays, December 17th, 2025, almost the end of the year. How are you guys all doing tonight? For when you were Wednesdays, please make sure that you get your pictures in for when we were Wednesdays. It's Basherdirk at gmail.com. That's Basherdirk at gmail.com. Let me pull the mic up a little bit. And get a little bit louder, now, a little bit louder now. Hey, everybody, how are you all doing tonight? Let's see who got in there at number one. Number one, Panel Power, coming back for you. Dave Fahrenheit 451. There's lots that you can do, actually. Amazing. He says, Galileo, Galileo, Galileo Figaro, Magnifico. I don't know why I did it. I was goofing around today with the incomparable John Schwartz, a.k.a. the one called Jay. You might remember him if you're a longtime basher. He was the first guest. I haven't had many guests on this show, but he was the very first guest. He's my childhood friend. And he's done some pretty crazy stuff. He's a drummer extraordinaire. He's played with Hitman. He played on our last record, Destroy All Humans. And was my solo drummer. Because when I'm looking for a drummer to play with me, I call him because we're buddies. And he started something pretty amazing a couple of years ago, the economic blackout that kind of took over this country and the world. And that was, I think it was 24 or 48-hour period where you wouldn't spend your money. You just wouldn't spend your money on all these behemoths, these stupid companies that rule the world and fuck up the footprint and all that stuff. He is not a political person per se, but he's a social activist, and he's a friend of mine. And now he's starting a new thing, and that is how do I say this without actually saying it? He's got a new blackout, and it's like not talking about it. And it is the person that is currently the president of this country. So what's the best way to diffuse a narcissist bomb? Stop talking about it. But it's pretty interesting stuff, and I'm thinking about maybe having him on the show. It's not political. It is, well, I guess it is in a way, but it's more fun because people start to really respond to it. And it's really great. And I know a lot of you people feel the same way as I do. Paul Stanley doesn't because he had some smoke blown up his skirt. I don't care about taking an award from wannabe dictator because they're going to be talking about me. That's right. We've been working for 50 years trying to embody rock and roll, and we don't care. Fascists, dictators, oligarchs will take absolutely any kind of praise we can get, especially if it lines our bank accounts. Done with Kiss, baby. Done, 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 done. Ray 3349. How are we ever going to explain the kids about? I know. You listen, you know what's really great? And Jay and I were on the phone forever, the incomparable JS. We were talking quite a while on the phone because we hadn't connected in a while. And we were talking about how the musicianship for all these kids nowadays is superior to when we were kids because they have all the YouTube stuff. They have all this online tutorials. It's like, we had to either figure it out by listening to records or getting a teacher. And now these kids really, it's such a great thing that they have at their immediate disposal a lesson to find out how to play drums for the Temples of Syrinx or how to play that keyboard part in Child in Time or, what is that Procol Harum song? That one. Can't remember the name of it. But yeah. So, but the funny thing is that all these kids are learning to play so proficiently and so, they're like all these incredible young players, so good at their instruments, so proficient by the time they're, teenagers, and singers too. you see all these talent shows, whether a lot of it is real or it's not. I know a lot of them use pitch correction and stuff like that, which is cheating. But there's some really terrific singers out there. Like you go on YouTube and you can't believe, and they're listening to Kate Bush and they're listening to Kiss and they're listening to Led Zeppelin and Procol Harum and they're listening to all the Beatles, the Beatles and the Beatles. They're listening to that stuff, which is cool. But for some crazy reason, the charts are all like, I want to tell you about a flip flop. It's all just collabs with pop singers and rappers. And it just sounds like a big, like, pile of doo doo thrown in a garbage can and shaken around and spit at you. It's where's the chorus? Where's the bridge? Where's the verse? Where's the hook? A lot of foul language, but, listen, I'm an old fart. So what do I know? But we were talking about a lot of stuff. We covered all the ground. We talked about AI. We talked about the thumbnail from today's show was not done in ChatGPT. You guys know I use ChatGPT every day, but I used Grok. And it didn't do it, though. I don't know how to use it. He's very good at it. Anyway, I came up with that as just a tester. And a couple of things are wrong. It should be cat paws. I know. But I just took what I could get, and then I had to throw it in Photoshop and superimpose another cat in there because just didn't get it right. I'm sure that there's lots of services out there right now. And a couple of things, like I wanted to know, can I animate my background in StreamYard? So like I'm in front of a window, there's traffic, or, I'm in a space station. Wouldn't it be cool if I could do that? Things I want to do to improve the show. And it turns out I can, but I can't do it within StreamYard. I have to get another piece of software. So yeah, it's very interesting stuff. Steve Mac 3 is here. Boom, he says. Hey, Steve Mac 3, I hope you added to the gallery because yesterday was spectacular, man. Panel Power says GC A minor F. It's very interesting. Why did you say that? You're funny. Happy hump day, Dirk, and all the bashers. Happy hump day to you from the beautiful Melly C, the ladies of the bash, who we all adore. Thank you, ladies of the bash. Well done, Panel Power. Well done indeed. Martin Bronson are here. Wednesday, I Basher Time upvoted. I Basher Time upvoted. Sounds like I Basher Time upvoted. Julian, your pictures are here. Not a problem today. So I don't know what happened to them yesterday, but thanks for doing that at the end of the show. It really made all the difference in the world. And now some words from himself. Christmas greetings to all the bashers. Love and blessings from Julian. Thank you, kind sir. Love and blessings to you as well. Because you're all the bastards. That's why. Thank you very much. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your hearts be light. It's a great song. Fun song to sing. It's very deep, though. From now on, you're going to do the Burl Ives version. Christmas is most truly Christmas when we celebrate it by giving the light of love to those who need it most. Indeed. I say that on the show every day, beating that drum. Check on your neighbor, check on your friend, check on your friend's mother, check on that lady that you always see hanging around outside the store that looks like she doesn't have a soul in the world to rely on. Listen, I used to say, and this is true, before Bashers, I only really gave a shit about the animals because I'm like, well, you got St. Jude's and you got this and you got Wounded Warriors. There's lots of things for people. There's nowhere near enough stuff for pets, but in truth, it's not true. So many people get left aside, pushed aside, cast aside. And while we might be lucky enough to have loved ones and friends surrounding us and bringing us Christmas cheer, even if we don't want it, there is probably somebody in your orbit that doesn't. Man, it could be something as corny as going in and get an Entenmann's cake. That's strictly a New York thing. An Entenmann's cake is like a store-bought cake, brand cake, but it started out 50 years ago by I think her name was Sarah Entenmann, I forget, but this woman used to come and deliver her cakes to like this deli that my brother worked at. He knew the Entenmanns very well, and then it exploded. I think it became an East Coast phenomenon. I don't know if it's nationwide now, but Entenmann's was like the gold standard of store-bought cakes and things like that, confections, desserts, and so you go to the store, you get her an Entenmann's black and white cake, you knock on the door and say, Hey, Sally Mae, I heard you might be alone this Christmas. I brought you cake. Maybe have a cup of coffee with them. Why not? And thank you, Julian, for saying that. The world suffers a lot, not because of the violence of bad people, but because of the silence of the good people. We talked about this today too. People who want to remain silent. Listen, neutrality is a great thing as long as you can channel your passions and your heart in the right place. But being silent, listen, just remember silence equals death. Does anybody remember that term? Now, when I was a kid, or, I came out and all that crap like that, which I never really did. I just kind of just tiptoed out. But there was AIDS, and AIDS was killing people all over the place, and people refused to talk about it. The president at the time, Ronald Reagan, refused to even mention the word AIDS. And there was an organization called ACT UP, Larry Kramer and company. He's a playwright, The Normal Heart, lots of incredible stuff that guy wrote. And there was a triangle, pink triangle, and it said silence equals death. Because if you can't talk about it, you can't figure a way to get everybody out of it. And that's what happened. So yeah, remaining silent is a weapon of its own. So neutrality is a different story, but being silent on the big issues and the things that affect the rest of the world, the planet, the animals, the ecology, all that stuff, there's no point in that. No point. I agree, Renaissance. Ray says, had to put a bad egg down tonight. Oh, okay. Did you? Was that from Ray? Had to put a bad egg down. Tonight, I don't like bullies. Sometimes eyebashers don't work in the real dream world. Oh, I know what you're saying. About being nice to everybody? Well, listen, I always said be nice unless they're a total cunt. I say give everybody as much rope. That's what I say at the end of every show. I go, but you know what I mean. Give everybody enough rope to prove themselves. I'll just tell you a funny little story. So right before the show, I went and made Rose a sandwich for lunch. She gets up late, so it's lunchtime for her. And I went to the store. Now, I'm very friendly with the girls. They're such great ladies. They're so great. And they're these very young ladies, and they're all from Nepal. And they're very interesting. We talk about Nepalese things and stuff. She goes, can I confess something to you? And I said, yeah, sure. I'm not a priest, but go ahead. She goes, I was mean to somebody. I said, oh, okay. She watches the show. And I said, well, that's okay. Well, why were you mean to them? She goes, because he was mean to me. And I said, all right, well, then, I said, listen, next time he comes in, pour some sugar on him. Pour some sugar on him. And she said that this guy is a regular customer. He's like a regular Joe, comes in a lot. They always say hello, please, thank you. Anyway, she was talking to her coworker, and she did his entire transaction without really making any kind of contact with him. No please, no thank you, not hello, nothing. And she felt it. She realized she made a big boo-boo. And he left, and she was still talking to her friend. He comes back 2 minutes later. He goes, I just want to let you know that I've been coming here for years, and that was the worst transaction I've ever made in my life. I come in here, I at least deserve a hello or a please or a thank you or whatever. Anyway, and I said, listen, if something else happened to him, because oftentimes most people are on their phone. Oh my God, it's not going to just like, oh my God, it's like, oh yeah, the top. People walk up to a counter when they're on the phone and they don't even pay any mind to the merchants. They just completely ignore them because, they're just there to do stuff for you because that's, because you're a dick. And so most of the time, people wouldn't even notice it. I, of course, talk the dog off the meat truck. So I talk to everybody, people staring at the wall, people at the drugstore, but a lot of people aren't like that. And he noticed it. I don't know. She said they were friendly before. I said, next time he comes in, just tell him you're really sorry. It was rude of you, and see where it goes from there. Because you don't know what's happened, and something terrible could happen to him. Death in the family, or the loss of a good friend, a breakup of a relationship, a pet, something terrible. He just might have been set off, and it was likely not her because she's lovely. They're lovely girls. We all make mistakes. The best thing we can do is own up to them. That's all, right? It's the best thing we can do. Dino's got some eggs in a frying pan and some boiled eggs there. And then there's a little chickie hatching. That's right. By the way, you're quite the emoji person. Can I just say that? You're quite the emoji person. Dino says, what is this? The Queen of Cats? Yeah, well, it was an experiment to try that other AI thing. It's okay, I think. Franco Fiore says, please upvote. Upvote if you can. Upvote if you can. It makes an incredible difference in the algorithm. I'm doing shorts now. I know they're not the greatest, but they're getting views, and it's kind of fun to get it out there. And I'm going to work on a couple. I have a clip from last night, the 12 Days of Christmas. Basher Y mentioned that they thought that it would be a great clip. So if I don't mention you in the 12 Days of Christmas, maybe I should write a new one, but it was just a clip from the show, so please don't get upset. I'm drinking some Drooby Doo coffee. Now that he's a part owner in the company and a great friend of the iBashers, and I don't spruik on this show, I don't, as you know, but if the Bashers, one of you folks, have entered into a new endeavor, and I think you could get all the press you could get. So this is the coffee I'm drinking today. This is called the Twisted Espresso. It's version 9. It's from South Africa and South America. Its elevation is 1,300 to 2,000 meters. And it's guava, lilac, candied almond, and Tootsie Roll. Now, I think it tastes like coffee, but I think it tastes like delicious coffee. I have many varietals in my house, and this is what our Drooby Doo's working on right now. If you guys want to, if you are interested in some really good coffee, this is just, there's no profit to be made here. This is just if you want to, help a basher out as they're starting something new, like the way you guys have all helped me out with my show. And Hitesh with his beautiful soaps that the Vancouver brothers make. Why not? Now Drew is involved with this company, and he's got some investment in it, and it's really good. You see me drink it every single day on the show because he's so nice. Not only did he rescue all his cats, and Kay is the queen, we all know that. Not only that, but he sent me a ton of coffee, and like I said, I make little tiny ristrettos. I make, I pack it tight as a drum, but it lasts me a long time. I don't drink big mugs of coffee. I don't like American coffee. It's not my thing. Not even an Americano. I'm like, eh. Every once in a while, if I go to a coffee place, I might get a double macchiato or something like that. But rarely do I ever do that. But anyway, Andrew Olkowicz, Canadian dollars. Are you working? But we'll watch later. Enjoy the show and upvote and subscribe. Be warm and be kind. Oh, Andy Pandy Pudding and Pie. He kissed the girls and he made them cry. You're not going to work, Mike Owens? How dare you? Is it just your... I had that so good. Kiss the girls and make them cry. I'll just freaking edit it so it's perfect. How dare you? And Renaissance says pictures for the gallery. Because at iBashers, we will sell no pictures before their time. Then wherefore in these merry days should we, I pray, be duller? No, let us sing some roundelays to make our mirth the fuller. That's pretty good. Julian with the adages and words of wisdom that he imparts upon us every day. And listen, man, it starts a firestorm of conversation since I don't have a like there's no tete-a-tete here. I'm screaming at clouds. But I will say that he has been so inspirational in so many ways, not just through his art, but through his conviction of humanity. And it's very true. Then wherefore in these merry days should we, I pray, be duller? Let us sing some roundelays to make our mirth the fuller. That's what I said. Listen, you might think Christmas and Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever, Festivus, whatever you celebrate, you might think it's a load of shite. And it might very well be. But it is a time for people to get together and try, at least to try to mix. I'm not a big Christmas I'm not Mariah Carey. She's the queen of Christmas, while she's got her skirt hiked up over her arse on the tabletop swigging. I never understood that. She started out if she started out her career as the queen of Christmas, I would have been like, yay. She had a vision of love and all that stuff. But then she got so like dirty and nasty with, get the fuck off, get the fuck off, get the dirty stuff. But now she's the queen of Christmas and she does a good job of it. But listen, I'm no queen of Christmas either, but I do try to rally around the troops when it comes to Christmas time because listen, my parents are gone and we are a rudderless ship My nephew has invited us to his home, I mean, which is great. He's got a wonderful family and a beautiful house, and it's really nice. But then there's all these, I've got Paul's family and Rose and so many other things. We have to figure out what's best for the course of everyone. They're gonna, he's got children, so they're gonna be having Christmas, big Christmas every year, which is great. But it's very kind of him to invite us over because he's the best anyway. But you know, I have things I got to do, and it's just not as festive as it used to be. And I'd like it to be. I'd like it to be. When I was young, I thought Christmas was great. I don't know about you. Some people really get into the Christmas. I know a friend who is. How do I say this? I'm going to do this as anonymously as I possibly can. I know a person that suffers from not only severe narcissism, but also from depression. And the reason why they're depressed is because they have no right to be a narcissist. It's a peripheral friend. So this person goes hog wild during Christmas, like over decorating and over everything. I don't know so much about the gifts thing. Like, I have a feeling there probably aren't any gifts involved because it's all about them. But they are a severe narcissist, and they also claim to suffer deeply from depression. And I made a joke once. They have no right to be depressed because it just doesn't make any sense to me. But a very complicated person, and I see the mania that goes on, and that's when you try to put on a really big front. So do yourself a favor. If you're not naturally inclined, just let nature take its course and guide you towards happiness. Because like there's a lot of things you could do to be happy, and I'm no guru like my friend Jay is. He does Sunday meditations, and I'm gonna while we're talking, I'm gonna try to pull up a clip for his show, the one called Jay. Let's see what it is. Where's the YouTube version of that? You said it was on YouTube. YouTube. I don't. Oh yeah, it is. Is this it? Oh, okay. I'll show it to you right now. Hold on. You guys might remember. I'm going to pull this up on the show right now, and then I'll show you what he does. Does a lot of meditation. He's very so. He's not a political person. It's more of a ecological, sociological thing that he does here. So this is what he's doing. And look at this. He's talking to some lady right now. I don't know what her name is. Kelly Certified. K Certified. I don't know who she is. But this is him.
My fellow Americans, the 24-hour economic blackout is coming. On Friday, February 28th, the People's Union will make its first move. Now, some of you might be wondering, why does this matter? What impact will one day of economic resistance really have? Let me explain it to you. For decades, they have told us that we are powerless, that we have no control, and that this system is too big, too strong, too unshakable. But here's what they don't want you to realize. We, the people, are the system. We are the...
Yeah, I'll let you look at it, but that's him, and he's doing it for it now. Not talking about it anymore. And it's pretty cool, man. And Rosie O'Donnell, the Republicans' favorite person in the whole wide world, replied to him personally on the thing. He was on the news and stuff. It's pretty crazy. My childhood friend making all these things. Pretty amazing stuff. You go, boy. You go, boy. Glen Parker is the place to be. Good evening, fine people. Glen Parker 73. How are you, Glen Parker? Great to have you live on the show. And Handsome Joe, ciao ragazzi e tutti, baby. How are you, Joe? Great to have you live on the show. Mr. Brooker, good evening, one and all. Busy day at headquarters in Birmingham, West Midlands, not Alabama. And so we'll catch the replay in a couple of hours. Happy bashing and take care. Do some diving there and bring Tilly along with you. Upvoted Tilly Sends Woofs. Thank you, Mr. Brooker. Please upvote if you can. It makes a big difference on the show. You have no idea. Thank you so much. Robin's Bird, one of our favorite ladies of the bash. That is who you are. The ladies of the bashism take us very far. Thank you, darling. Kate Dids is here. Hello from Winnipeg. We're getting a blizzard tonight because you live in Winnipeg. What are you doing? I am a lineman for the county. When I think of that song, which I think is probably one of the best written songs ever, Jimmy Webb, but the Glenn Campbell version, of course. I always think of like the Canadian wilderness, a long stretch of road with just telephone poles. But I don't think of the Midwest of America. I always think of Canada because always, to me, that I always get a cold vibe from it. Winnipeg, that's pretty cold up there. We have a lot of Canadian friends because, as we know, we've mailed out a lot of stuff to Canada. And Hitesh is here. Hi, all. Please remember to upvote. Thank you so much, Hitesh. And of course, I'm wearing the beautiful first Omega in space. Eat your hearts out, beautiful people. I know it's beautiful, right? Yeah, and there's that one. Well, it's got to put a mark on it. It happened. I took the tape off, like, because everybody shamed me, and I took it off, and then that's what happened. There it is. Yeah. What are you gonna do? I wear it a lot, and it's beautiful. I wear it a lot. For anybody who doesn't know, this was a gift from Basherdirk. This beautiful blue slate sunburst style. Oh, it's gorgeous. I love it. It's such a it's I told you my favorite bracelet in the world is on my reduced, but this is pretty damn close. Pretty damn close it is. Gallery, the best feature movie about drums and obsession, Whiplash, highly recommended. So Gallery should know the firestorm that happened when that movie came out. So, that's supposed to be like Juilliard, right? So while I was not a student per se of there, I non-matriculated there because my voice teacher was a professor there. So I used to sit in on a lot of classes and often do some stuff with that, in up at Juilliard, and it was really fun. And I would have loved to have pursued that, but I was too busy with my my heavy metal pursuits. But anyway, yeah, I got to do some opera and stuff like that, and it was really fun. The thing about that movie, and I enjoyed the living shit out of it. It's just absolutely, even in that era, that could never happen. Like, that guy was such a dick. I mean, he won an Oscar for it because he was great, J.K. Simmons. But it's competitive, yeah. Like, I watched a lot of people. Most of the people that I saw that were, like in the program there, because they have the actors program there, and there's a lot of different programs in Juilliard. It's not just, for classical musicians at all. It's, some of the greatest actors in the world have gone there. John Hurt went there, Kevin Kline went there, and so many others. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I think Sigourney Weaver might have been a Juilliard graduate. A lot of them don't graduate because they get jobs, and that happens. But it's a fun movie, and it's edited really, really well. And I think Miles did a great job too. But that guy would have been fired like years ago. Even then, I mean, my teacher, actually, I should take that back, because Marty used to smack the crap out of me. My teacher, he'd whack me if I did something wrong, because he'd be like, "We've been over this how many times, and we have to sing this in front of," because what we do is we work privately on 72nd Street on the Upper West Side. And then he would, have me come in on class. Me and a couple of other students would come in, sit in on some of the symposiums and things. And then there's some performances that we had to do too. He let us be a part of that. And he was also trying to coerce a lot of us to continue our education. And most of us were not having it. Though I regret that. One of my great regrets. But it would have been cool, considering how much time I wasted. But yeah, he used to smack me. Not hard, but he'd whack me. Poof, poof, poof. But that guy was, that guy was abusive. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it did happen. Who knows? But it's a great movie. I loved it. Dino's got a lot of flip-flops. Dude, no flip-flops on the show. Flip-flops are officially banned on the iBashers network. No one should wear flip-flops. And I used to say, only at the cabana, pool, or shower. But now I just say, go get yourself a pair of slides. Those are the ones with the one thing, not the thing you stick your toes through. Because flip-flops are grotesque, and no civilized man in the world should have them. So don't do it. Hey, Dids, Canadian $5. Did you hear about the 2 close calls of the military civilian planes in the Caribbean 2 days ago? Wild stuff. AF's fault, 100%. Oh, I'm sure it is. Sure it is. I actually didn't hear about so much stuff, like JS was telling me about a bunch of stuff that I didn't know about, because you know what it is? Because I don't care anymore. Where my heart is now. I just don't give a shit. I'm like, I can't change anything. But, Jay keeps saying you can change stuff by And what Renaissance says, don't be silent. I'm not afraid. I'm not Norma Ray, but you know what? I'm willing to put the work in too, though. But I did not hear about those until this morning. And yeah, I agree 100%. Let's give you a giant bing, bang, boom, smack 'em a gob for that. There Will Be Blood. Are you talking about that movie? That's Oisin O'Malley's favorite movie in the world. Yeah, There Will Be Blood indeed. Gabri seems like it, says K Dids. Yeah, I know. It's a very sad state of affairs when we know that the only reason why we're fucking around with Venezuela is because we want that oil. That's the only anybody who says differently is full of shit, because it's 100% that. And it's like I'm tired of being an apologist. I apologized the other day for that other jackass. I love your shorts. They're great. Thank you. I mean, I don't know. I'm learning. I'm learning, Melly C. I'm learning. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to taste this. Very good indeed. Gabri says we should AI videos of Mork traveling to each Basher home. Aw, wouldn't that be amazing? Dirk, I'm pixelated. Oh, come on. I don't know what else I could do. It's just got to be the American Broadcasting Network doing that. Pixelated, huh? Let me see. Am I still pixelated? I know, it takes me a long time to get through the chats. So it could have been 10 minutes ago. Thank you for letting me know that. I appreciate it. That's a great idea, Gabriel. We should totally do that. Absolutely 100% do that. I'm learning to use different forms of AI right now. So maybe we'll have a more feature film. God knows that could happen. Mark in Brooklyn, the best present is spending time together, wishing a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Year. Thank you, Mark in Brooklyn. Thank you so much. And I agree. It's all about seeing the people that you love. Like I said, my family's kind of rudderless right now, and it is what it is. Hello, everybody. Merry Christmas from the Blinky, 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 Blinky room. Hey, Blinky, Blink in Vietnam. How are you, buddy? You got some cool watches for today? And there he is, the one called Jay. That's my childhood buddy. Maybe we'll have you back on the show one of these days soon. He's doing a show on Sundays at noon on the one called Jay on YouTube. It's kind of a meditation, so to speak, if you want to blow off some steam, or if you went out the night before and you did the walk of shame and you had too much to drink or smoke or snort or God knows what you did last night. Dean, Ray, Andrew, all the bad boys. If you did that, you might want to go namaste. Or as I used to say in my yoga class, nama fucking stay. Because sometimes, I practiced yoga for like 10, 12 years. And then the pandemic happened and I haven't gone back to it. And I should, because my knees shot. Sometimes I would walk after I did hot yoga, hot vinyasa, and either 90 minutes or 30 minutes. And sometimes I'd walk out of that place feeling like elevated to a brand new spiritual level. And then other times I'd walk out of there and I want to punch the first person in the mouth I see. It's amazing the range of emotions you can feel when you put your body and your mind through that thing. And it all depends also on the instructor that you have. If you have somebody who comes in here and just makes you go through all the postures and all that stuff, it's not going to work for you. You have to have somebody that really can get inside there. God, we had this, it was a mother and son, and he passed away from a very rare form of cancer 2 years ago. And he was physically the most beautiful person I've ever seen, and spiritually one of the most beautiful people in the world, inside and out. Marco was just absolutely incredibly beautiful person. But his class I looked forward to, and I never missed Tuesday nights with Marco, because he would turn all the lights out. He'd have eucalyptus in the air. He would play some of the greatest music that you could just absolutely sink into your yoga routine. And before you knew it, it was over. And then the best part was when you go into Shavasana, which is the dead man's pose, where you lay on your back on your mat. He turned all the lights out, and then he would walk around and he would surprise us with either a warm compress or an ice cold compress. And it was always infused with some kind of a scent that, to help you come down from that incredible workout that you just had. It's a full body workout, yoga. If you've never done yoga, I highly recommend it. It changes your life, not just physically, but spiritually. It was the best shape I'd ever been in my life. And now I just feel like a potato. So I'd like to do it, but the yoga room is gone. It closed. The pandemic killed everything, which was terrible. Great to see you on the show. The one called Jay. Melly C says, I spoke to Andy M today. He said hi to all of you. Oh, we miss you, Andy M. Only good things. Just for him, I'll do that, right? I'll put on his banner. Only good things. Put on the Andy M banner. Because he's not here. And we hate that. We absolutely hate that. And he said he will be away for a while, busy looking after his elderly parents. We know it well. His dad has been unwell, but is doing better now. Big prayers out to you too, Andy M. Thank you so much. And we miss you, man, on the show. Mark of Brooklyn says, forget souvenirs. You can now buy pre-owned Rolexes at New Year's. Then there's always the Rolex problem. Pre-owned Rolexes at New York's JFK Airport. Is that true? Bob's Watches will be the first luxury pre-owned watch retailer in New York City's famed airport. Well, that sounds terrible. How can they allow that if they're going to have Rolex there who have no watches to sell you? You can look at them and fondle them. And then Bob's Watches is just going to jack the prices. It's going to be gray market prices. I mean, I know so many people who have gone into various airports around the world and walked out with, an OP, or you don't get a Sub or a Daytona, but you'll get a watch. Sea Dweller, Sky Dweller. You can get them. I never heard anybody getting a Milgauss because they never had them in the store. It's a very weird watch, that I love, obviously. But that's interesting. Bob's Watches, huh? That's one of the big ones, Jay says, hey, I'm right here. I didn't know you were here until now. The boutique will make its debut on December 19th at Terminal. I still have to get over to Christopher Ward, which I'll do. I'll do that on the episode where I'm going to take you guys. Probably be maybe for Sunday Mass this week. I'll take you guys to St. Patrick's and then across to the Tree and show you. I did it last year, and you guys will know. And we could do a bunch of the Christmas stuff, the windows at Bergdorf and Saks Fifth Avenue. And then I could go down to Christopher Ward and maybe try on some cool watches down there. Mark in Brooklyn says, F the system. Indeed. Black Rock system. Yeah, sure. It is that. I remember when Jay was on your show. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was wild. He's very successful on Instagram and the TikTok. That's how you sound like an old man. He's on the TikTok. He's on the TikTok. Gabri says, Melly C, Eminem, hope everything works out just great. Of course, we're praying for Andy M's parents. Listen, it's a tough go. When we get elderly, like stuff starts to fall apart. Yesterday, we talked about how elderly people become more reliant and childlike. And also, listen, I'm staring at a video screen right now watching Rose because I have to keep an eye on her at all times when I'm not around to go down there. And if something happens, God forbid, you've seen me do it. I just leave. I've left the show more than once. She got locked out. She doesn't really go out anymore. She goes out when I take her out to get her hair done, her nails done, or a cup of coffee. She loves this lemon sorbet up the street. But the weather is so bad. If it was a beautiful spring day, I'd be like, every day we could go out, But yeah, I'm glad he's able to be there for the Melly. So are we all, Robbinsburg. Thank you so much. What a kind thing to say. Thank you, Gabri and Robbinsburg. Well, hey, because they're the best. Hey, Hitesh, thank you for the lovely subs. Absolutely wonderful. Yes. She's got them. Because you deserve it. Beautiful Melly C for being such an incredible inspiration to all the bashers. And thank you so much. Really, really, really. Yeah. I have the tape on my watch too. See, I took it off. Now I feel like I took it off. And what happened? I got a ding on it right away. I got a ding on it. I have the tape on my Milgauss. I think. Or I did. Yeah, I got tape on the Milgauss. Yeah, I just, listen. Because I wore the daily driver for the last 2 years has been my reduced, and it still looks great because that bracelet is beautiful, but the clasp looks like doo-doo, Hitesh, she says, take care, Andy M, of course. Please, and travel safe. Evening, lads and ladies of the bash. Dave Fitzsimons. How are you, buddy? Dino M3. Hey, David. How are you? And Jill Farford Juilliard. Well, you would know because your mom not only was a prodigy student there, but also an instructor extraordinaire and a beautiful lady and an incredibly gifted and talented musician. Amazing. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Let's have a little bit of. I usually save this one for other things, but let's give him. Why won't this let me go down? StreamYard, you are in big trouble today. You are being crapola. Let's do the monks. Dave Fitzsimon says, "Hey Dino, Blinky Blinky, 100% of Vietnam wears flip flops." Yeah, well, because it's 800 degrees and 5,000,000%. I watched that series, The White Lotus, and that was in that Southeast Asia. Yeah, no. The answer is no. You know why? I have one word for you: mosquitoes. I had a piano teacher who would smack my hands with a ruler. That was commonplace. It would also smack me on the back for not sitting up straight. Well, piano posture historically has been very, very, very important. There have been a lot of piano players who have had very strange posture, and it didn't really matter because they were extraordinary players. But there's a great movie. And Joe, I bet you know about this movie. Did you ever watch Madame Susatska? That was a very famous movie with Shirley MacLaine, and it was about a woman who was like an old piano teacher, and she was very rigid in the way she taught, and it was really a great movie. It must have been 25 years ago, I think that was, but it was a Steinway movie because Steinway sponsored. I think that they paid for some of that film. It was pretty amazing, pretty amazing. Listen, if you watch like the Van Cliburn Awards, which is a very famous yearly competition, they get judged on all kinds of things. And you know what? I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure, I bet you they look for posture as a really big thing. It's a very interesting thing, but it's like guitar players. They want you to play a certain way too. Melly C and Eminem, sweet, you got them. My tracking said the 18th. Did you see my note? Oh, you wrote her a note too. You're beautiful. Thank you, buddy. Melly C, same maths teacher, throw chalk at my head. Really? And hit my hand with a ruler. Now, I went to Catholic school and I had zero abuse. Like I've always said, my Catholic education was maybe it's the era that I grew up in. My sister and my elder brother and my elder sister told me that they experienced some of that corporal punishment, but I saw none of it. I just saw great things. Hitesh, yes, the note is now sitting on my mantle. Once again, thank you. I sent you an email. Oh, how sweet. You guys, I'm so glad. Silver 100 for Christmas. That's pretty good. Who doesn't want silver? It's $100 for Christmas. Is that what's happening? Silver's really going up in price. Melly C, never mind. Possibly these teachers are in care homes drinking soup through a straw. What goes around comes around. I wished I believed in karma like that, but you know what? I've seen too many evil people live long lives, miserable lives, and it's like hopefully they'll just experience, in the next one when they're living in hell. Old school teaching. My parents used to tell me about the ruler in India. Oh God! Now look what happens in schools. No more fear. Yeah. Now, yeah, no more fear, except now you're afraid you're going to get shot by one of your fellow students. The pandemic killed everything it was supposed to, except the people. Right. Right. Very true. Yeah. Anyway, it's time for the Gallery of Bastards. Bob's prices are a bit high. They are. I can't see how like Rolex and Omega and Breguet and all these companies that are always in the mall. Let's face it, duty free is not duty free anymore. It's the same prices. I checked out all the fragrances. I was like, it's the same prices as it is in Saks Fifth Avenue. So I bought nothing on that last trip. And I also went in there and because Paul wears Antaeus by Chanel, and they didn't have that. And the girl was like, I don't even know what that is. And then I smelled the blue. Everybody loves the blue elixir, and I smelled it. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll get that for Paul. And she goes, oh, we don't have it. I was like, what is this, Rolex? You don't have anything to sell? She goes, we don't have anything. It's been really busy. I'm like, you're supposed to stock it. You're supposed to stock it. A list dweller. That's pretty good. Today, the kids are too clever. They'd have the teachers in court in a minute. Or, you know what? If I was the dad, I would just go there and break his jaw. That's what I would do. Hey, Stein, 60, 70, 71. Happy holidays to you and your better half. Thank you so much. Love your show. Thank you, buddy. You have a hell of a great new year. You too from Norway. Hey, Steiny. Great. Thank you so, so much. You have a very blessed holiday with your family and friends and the people you love. And I told you I'm going to Sweden next year, early next year, because Paul's dad's friends live there, and it was they had him and Julie had been planning a trip for the longest time, and of course we lost her, so we're going to go in her stead. So David had a couple of medical things that he had to get out of the way, nothing too pressing, but that's just about done. So we're thinking about early spring, and I'm going to get to go to Sweden. I'd love to see Norway too, and the fjords and all that stuff. It's a part of the world that I've not, and we've got some really crazy Hitman fans in Norway that I talk to on social media, and they're very funny. And it's really weird what they like too. It's very interesting stuff. The beautiful Sharon Hitesh, I received my gift. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm so happy. What's up with Canada Post? Everybody's getting their stuff so early. Aren't you guys so lucky? Wow. Not with USPS, baby. Wow, the beautiful Sharon. That the sexiest grandma ever. Roar of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Hi, Dirk. Hi, gang. Today, I finally got my epidural. You got it for my back. That means my plans to visit my grandkids is assured. I leave tomorrow via van service out of Worcester, Massachusetts. That is where my niece went to school at Holy Cross. That's where my niece went to school. And the home of polar water, polar effervescent, sparkling flavored waters. We're so happy, Roar of the Tiger. You've had a hell of a time, and to see your daughter's children, I'm so grateful, so grateful. Big hearts to you, Roar of the Tiger. You deserve this time with your kids, and you got it today. I'm so happy. You deserve it. Have a great holiday. We'll see you in between then, though, for sure. Awesome. Sharon Alexa and JoJo says, of course. Jerry Lee Lewis had a very, very crazy posture. Crazy posture. Taco about to declare war. Yeah, he's going to do it for the oil. Like, and anybody who says it's not for the oil, what is it, for fentanyl? Me arse. Fentanyl, we all know fentanyl comes from the other side of the country, not from that side. It's coming Venezuela, me arse. Yes, Catholic school was very strict for me, but us Catholics did get up to no good. Yeah, I mean, I blew up the toilets in my high school. Not a good idea. With a bunch of pack of idiots. Happy for you, Roar the Tiger, says Robinsburg. And Mark says USD trash gold price for Rolex to buy. True. Sleepers. Oh, that's a tough movie to get through, JoJo. Sleepers, the ultimate revenge for abuse. Man, it's true. It is. I've never seen it. And I'll tell you privately why I've never seen that, but it's triggering for some people. For me, but hey, Dirk, because I told you my experience with being an altar boy in Catholic school, all the priests and all the brothers that were involved in the program, they were mentors, and they were Father Tom Joyce is like a god to me. Saved my life. I've said that. I fell off a dock all by myself in Shelter Island. I did not know how to swim. I was very young, and he saved my life. Loved him. Fergal, soon I'll be buying some wine, says Dino. I didn't see Fergal in the chats. Is Fergal in the chats? I didn't see him. Oh, there he is. Lou's still not 100%. Oh, no. Get well soon, Lou. We love you. But getting there. I have it now, though. I'm towards the end of it, maybe 90%. Oh, man. I hate that. Give a big heart out to Lou and tell her how much we love her. And we hope to have her back soon and to get her some soup, man. Get her some. I'm sure you're doting on her like the beautiful man that you are. Nice, Dean. And Fergal, is that the COVID strain and what the hospital is calling a cold? Indeed. Guys, it's time for the Gallery of Bashtards.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots, the sublime the Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
We start off tonight with Chris Boyd with More Yesteryears. We love that. More Yesteryears from Chris Boyd. Oh, look at this. Right. Look at that. Isn't that just perfect? I've got pictures of me like in that environment as well. And who's the pup there in the picture? Look at that. Absolutely adorable. Right. Did you have a pail? Did you go to the well for that as well? And look at you. Oh, it's upside down, but it's okay. I wish that they would allow me to swap this out, but you guys can look sideways. Right there he is on the coast. Now you're up in Northern Ireland. Have you ever? I've never been to the. I've never been in Northern Ireland. I know that's crazy with all the time that I spent in Sligo, and it's not far. But during those times it was rough, so you didn't go. And I would love to see it. I'd love to see the Giants Causeway. Look at this. All right, what kind of car is that? Can't see. Every time we ever were in Ireland, my dad always got either a Volvo, like kind of mini station wagon or saloon, as you might call it, or we would have what was the other car that we had? Geez, I can't remember it. It was mostly Volvos, but there was another one too. Forget what it was called. Opel, an Opel. That's what we had. Chris Boyd, absolutely incredible. Opel, by the way, is owned and always has been owned by Chevrolet, GM. It's a GM product. Isn't that crazy town? Then we got, let's see. Anybody who wants to send me pictures for the Gallery of Bastards, you know how that is. Why don't you send, Jay, if you're still watching this show, you should send a picture to Basherdirk@gmail.com. That's Basherdirk@gmail.com. You share it with me, and I share with the world. And all that stuff. You know how that works. Basherdirk@gmail.com. So let's get back to the action. We've got Steve McLeod of the Clan McLeod from Scotland. And he guys, look at this photography. If you're still watching, Jay. This is what we do. Everybody shares at the end of the show. We get to see everybody's work. Amazing pictures of their yesteryears, their tomorrow years, their kids, their dogs, their cats, their hamsters, their donkeys. We have Donkey of the Month. We have had Donkey of the Month. But look at this beautiful stuff. That is something that is absolutely stunning, man. Your photography is, look at this. It's Ansel Adams. Incredibly beautiful, man. Absolutely incredibly beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Look at that. Right on the loch. That's where he lives. He lives in Scotland. That is astonishing, man. Because are there ducks down there? Incredible. Yeah, I've never been to Scotland either. Shame on me. A couple places I'm dying to see. Scotland, Northern Ireland, and I'm dying to see Wales as well. And Liverpool. I would love to see Liverpool. Not as a Beatles tourist. I know everybody does that. But I just want to see it as a city because it looks fantastic. Part 2 from Steve McLeod. Oh, we love it. We love it. Oh, they're the same pictures in reverse. Oh, no, here's another one. Okay, hold on. You almost pulled a Ray on me. Ooh, how cool is that? Is there a church right on a hill? Amazing. There's the same one. Okay. So this is the one I should have picked, right? Beautiful. That's incredible. That's Ansel Adams' Majesty. Beautiful stuff, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then we've got, Robin's bird. Oh my God, look at this. Gallery pups baby pics. I don't think we could take this. We can't take the puppy and kitten pics. None of us can hold it together for that. Look at this pup when he was a pup. Little kitty cat. Look at that. Oh my God, look at you. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at pup. Oh my God, these are baby pictures indeed. Oh God, there's nothing cuter. Oh. And how old is pup now exactly? Yeah, Joe says Opel is German. Was it always German? But it's GM though. It's General Motors, which I found fascinating. That was only for my argument when O'Shane O'Malley said that Europeans had never heard of GM. I was like, yeah, they have. There's Chevys all over the place in Europe. Cars. Listen, I might not drive, but I know a lot about cars. I've always been interested in cars. I do know how to drive. I just never got around to getting a driver's license. That's my problem. I just never did. But I like cars a lot. I'm interested in cars. Cars, not now. Now there's nothing interesting. Very rarely do you see anything that's interesting. But those are great. Thank you so much, Robinsburg. Eminem madness, Malcolm Mindy madness. Eminem madness, Malcolm Mindy madness. Yeah. Pop is almost 13. Oh, and there's the incomparable Mindy in a box. It's Mindy in a box. I'm the man in the box. You can see my Mork. So we're talking about doing a Mork animated motion picture as per Gallery's request. See if we can figure out how to AI to make that happen. And look at the big stretch out of Mork. Holy cannoli. Amazing. Wow. Crazy. Yeah. I know how to drive, Dino, and I know a lot about cars. I love vintage cars, especially, obviously American cars, because they were the best. I'm going to be America, because when it comes to the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, American cars were killer. Killer. Now, who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Cars all suck now. They all look like eggs. They look like the cars in Sleeper, the Woody Allen movie. Remember that? It's futuristic. All the cars are going to look like bubbles. That's what they look like now. Very few of them have any great style. Very few. Mindy by her fire. Mork on the blanket. And Morky. Mork for president. Where's Carolyn Martin? She hasn't popped in. She pops in the second Mork shows up on the screen. Look at the beautiful boy right there. That's the Mork for president. I have so many pictures of Mork. I bet if I fed that into AI and said, make me a movie, JS will tell me how to do that. He knows how. Oh, look at that shot of him. That's the boy. Hello, boy. Incredible. Mork for president. More Mork, more Mork. 4 more Mork. 4 more Mork. And she's the first lady, let's face it, of course. Oh, Morky Mork. You're so pretty. And such a good boy. Such a good boy. This is part 1. I think this is part 2. Eminem madness, smoking Mindy madness. Eminem madness, smoking Mindy madness. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Smoking Mindy madness. Yeah. I think this is a part 2. I think there were. Happy Hump Day. Then when we were young, this is gonna break the internet. Oh, look, doing one of the things that I find so scary, and that's cats near a washer dryer. Look at this. Is this impossible to believe? Look at the two of them. Oh my God. They're staring at the wash going round and round and round. Look at that. I'm always afraid that cats are going to find their way. Because, if you open up, you guys don't really use dryers, right? I know America is the only place in the world. I saw the Celestique, and they call it the Celestic. I watched, what's-his-face, Murrow review it. I watch all the car shows, Joe, right? I'm so fucking butch, bro. I'm a man in the streets and a queen in the sheets. I love watching all the car shows. I watch all the stuff. I live with the king of Pontiacs. The king of Pontiacs. Everything's like, Bonnevilles and, 66 Bonnevilles and Catalinas and, forget about it. This is internet breaking craziness. Now, have they always lived in the UK, you guys? I'm curious about that. Anyway, that's an astonishing shot. Mork and Mindy as kitties. They're so cute, babies. They're so babies. I have a picture of Glaucus when, like, a week after I found them, he just was walking around the deck, and he's this big. He's a tiny little boy. It was so unbelievable. My first cat, the first cat I ever had. Ladies and gentlemen, the incomparable works by our resident artist. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Julian with his photographic art. Look at this beautiful stuff, Julian. Outrageous. Wow. Wow. I love it. We're getting a bit of Hitchcock here. We're getting a bit of Julian in the frame as we see his shadow, a foreboding figure entering the mausoleum. Outrageous. That's incredible. Wow, Julian. I love when Julia gets spooky when he goes to the cemeteries. It's freaky. Freaky, freaky, freaky. Beautiful. There once was a door there. I'll tell you. Here's a great trivia question. Can anybody name a piece of art where a door ruined it? I never, ever, ever knew this until I went and saw it. And I went, wow, what's that? And they said, oh, they put a door there. I'm sure somebody's going to get it. I won't say off the top of my head because I'm sure, and it'll probably be either Joe or Panel Power, because you guys know. Look at this, looming low and ominous in twilight's premature. Thunder clouds are rumbling in a distant overture. That's what that looks like. Beautiful. Oh, look at that. That's what it feels like now here in New York. Horrible. Anyway, the answer to that is The Last Supper, in the room in which Da Vinci had painted it and used not the usual fresco style, but a tempera style, which obviously is the reason why that thing is not sticking around much longer. The monks decided that they needed to get a door from the dining hall, which is where the painting is. Dean says no pressure, Barbara, into the kitchen. So they drilled a hole through the bottom. That's why Christ has no feet. Everyone else, you can see the bottom of the table. They carved a door into the bottom of the fresco. Oops. And also oops on Da Vinci for trying out a new painting style. And it's terrible because that's really, if anybody's been there, I've been there a couple times. You walk in there, and then you walk into an airlock, and you're standing there for a while, and then you get into the room with the Last Supper, and you're allowed to be in there. I think it's 11 or 12 minutes, and then you leave, and then they change the air in the room, and then the next team can come in. You can't have big teams in there, and it's pretty cold in there. This is gorgeous, Julian. Absolutely lovely. Uh-oh. What is going on in the UK? Snow is rare in the UK. I know that. Right? Well, not in London, it is, in London town, which is, of course, Julian's mistress. We all know that, right? London is Julian's mistress. Beautiful. And I love the terracotta chimneys in London. There's nothing like it, especially with that satellite antenna. What is that thing? Jesus. Beautiful. It's a playground. Oh, that's nice. Quite beautiful. Is that in like the shopping district? I'm sure it probably is. Outrageous. Gorgeous, Julian. Oh, that's cool. Hey, look at that. Oh, how did you do that? That's miraculous and very Christmassy. You should make that into your Christmas paper, Julian, because it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Thank you. Beautiful works by our very own Julian, our resident photographer in chief, with the acolytes, of course. Now we've got several. Steve Mac 3 amongst you, doing very, very beautiful work. Thank you so much, Julian. It is an honor and a privilege to show your work daily. Hey, Becky Brown, Chicago Gallery Christmas Train. Hey, what are you doing? In Chicago. Yeah, I love that town. I've only been there once. I liked it. Was it once? Yeah, it's once. I loved it. I went to go visit Julie's sister who lived there. She worked for Oprah, and we went there. We had a great time. And now she lives in France because she's better than me. Look at that. How cool is that? Look at that train all lit up for Christmas. Very cool. Chicago's a very cool town. Oh, look at that. I like your vantage point. Were you in a sumptuous high-rise or on a bridge of sorts? Incredible. Beautiful. Becky Brown. Thank you so much, Becky Brown. Thank you, Mart. And speaking of the next Brown, the iBashers Gallery Pics, Bronson found a new box. Thank you, Mart. Listen, we've said this a million times about the cats in our lives. Don't go out of your way and buy them ridiculous toys, because all they really want is a cardboard box, because that makes them happier than anything. Why do they love boxes? I don't know, but they do. They all love it. Absolutely. Laverne didn't like to be in the box. She liked to be on the box. I would flip them upside down, and she would perch and survey her domain, which she loved to do. And her domain misses her. We have no queen, which is terrible. But I will never have another pet in this home here, as long as the dragon rules the village. I'm done. I can't do it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Bronson. You're so beautiful. What a king. The king amongst kitty cats. He is so beautiful. You're the king of the forest. best. Bronson, everybody. Legend. And from Sharon. Oh my God. Sharon at Titanic Quarter. Oh, you went to the Titanic Quarter of Belfast. Very cool. It's where she was built. Incredible. John Brown, right? Amazing. Look at that. Now I've not been to Belfast. I've been to Cove, which is of course was called Queenstown during the occupation. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful city. It's part of Cork. And there's a big Titanic thing there as well. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. Is that you? That's amazing. Absolutely crazy. That's beautiful. Amazing. Great shot. Thank you. So where is Harlan and Wolf still there? Is it still there? I don't know that it is. Not quite sure. Anyway, thank you so much. I think that's the gallery tonight, unless Ray's got something at the last minute that I don't know anything about. Do I know anything about it? I don't. The Gallery of Bastards is assured.
The Gallery of Bashtards. Send me the shots that sublime the absurd. The Gallery of Bashtards. You share them with me, and I share with the world.
Blinky said you send pictures. Where are they, Blinky? Okay, hold on. The idea of Titanic series just doesn't suck in. Yeah, that's like a gift shop at Auschwitz. You know what doesn't exist? A gift shop at Auschwitz. But you know what does exist? A gift shop at the World Trade Center. Grotesque. Blinky. Let me go look in junk. One moment, please. I hate when this happens. Nope. I don't know what's going on here. Yesterday it was. Oh, there it is. It just popped up. And we're past that, but who cares? We've got Blinky in the room and he's got some pictures to show. And it looks very communist, extremely. And now the guys in the O'Malley brothers make fun of Paul and I for loving the communist / fascist architecture of the era. And I absolutely adore it. Like some of the stuff that's in Italy, especially with the reliefs, the bas reliefs, and the letters written into the fonts that they used. I love it. I love this kind of architecture. Isn't that amazing? Look at that. So cool. Yeah. I wouldn't exactly call that brutalism. I wouldn't call that brutalism. I mean, there's brutalism and then there's brutalism. I mean, this has a little bit of international style going on too. But oh, look at that. What? Did you take this? This looks like from a movie set from 1938. Wow. But yeah, I mean, some of that, like, Nazi shit and some of that the Stalin era stuff, the propaganda art, that's some of the most beautiful art ever. It's incredible stuff. But you walk around in Italy and you'll be in, Vicenza or Fano or Rimini, and you're walking around, you see all the ancients, and then all of a sudden you'll see like a crazy ass, like fascist architectural building, and it just doesn't look right where it is. But there's some of that in Fano because because it was it's not a big port, but it was a port and a railway, so it was bombed heavily by the Allies. Heavily. And then the Germans, because they were cutting off the trains, because Germans were using that stuff. And then the Germans who were left, they did what they always did, was they just shot the place up before they left, and they ruined the bell tower. So the bell tower in Fano now is like the bottom half of it looks really pretty, and then the top of it looks like crap because they had to rebuild it and they just didn't have the materials. Should be done. Once I'm there, I'm going to spearhead a thing to rebuild it in its original image. This is a great shot. You took that? Holy, what kind of watch is he wearing? Oh, did we talk about this? Look at the bracelet. The bracelet looks like a Patek Philippe bracelet, doesn't it? If you look at it, it looks Patek. The watch definitely doesn't look Patek, but look at that. Pretty cool. Look at that guy. He's got stories to tell. Gorgeous. What a way to end the Gallery of Bastards. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. So appreciated. So appreciated. Sees Glisky's late, but here. Long day at work, but it's over now. Glass of wine in hand. Good for you. And Kiki on the sofa. What else could matter? And Nick joined late. Welcome. We must play the dragon. Brutalism. Yeah, not that one. Lots of statues. Oh, man. Some of the statues are amazing. Like you helped me out, Aaron Sheep. Great shot. So those are fantastic things. Thanks, guys, for the show. Only Italian monks would sacrifice art for easiest access to the kitchen. Isn't it just so stupid? So stupid. It's the craziest thing. I'm sure you've been to the Last Supper many times. Absolutely beautiful. It's in Milano, or just on the outside of it, just very close. I think it technically is in Milan, but I'm not sure. So that car you were talking about, the Celestic, I call it the Celestique because it's got a Q, 400K. Yeah. They want to be the standard of the world again. Yeah, but they can't because there's too many, like the Bentleys and the Bugattis and all that stuff, Yeah, it's crazy. Dean says, okay, Dirk, come to the UK and drive the Spaghetti Junction. I don't know what the Spaghetti Junction means, but Mindy and more girls Gallery. Of course we know, because Carolyn's not here but you're definitely Mork's second champion. Anyway, great stuff, guys. That's the show. Thanks so much. Thanks for tuning in. You guys rule the world. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. And let me not forget my Patreon Pantheon on the bottom. Thanks to all of you beautiful people for helping to keep the lights on here at the iBash. So I'll be back tomorrow for a regular Thursday shootout show, whatever you guys want. It's open to suggestions, anything you guys want. And of course, on Friday, I'll be back with the big guy for our late night wine show. And don't forget, I'll remind you about if you guys are interested in checking out JS's show on Sundays. If you want a little bit of, namaste in your life, and God knows what else he's got planned. I'm not quite sure, but something. Stay tuned. So, guys, remember to hold the door open. Remember to say please and thank you. And remember, if you encounter somebody who's not so nice, you have no idea what their day was like, give them the benefit of the doubt, because they're either the most beautiful person in the entire world or they're still just a